Right, welcome. Good morning, Fiifi-Manfred. Yesterday, of course, it's the morning edition of Azan Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. I want to say a big thank you to all of you who are subscribers, new subscribers to the channel. Thank you very much so much choosing in a constantly, maybe we have a conversation here on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. So, subscribe to the channel now. Be sure go back and subscribe to the channel and make sure so turn your notification. In the notification turning on, make sure so choose all. Send it anytime your content ever drop to have your we are first to have it. May enjoy analysis in the as on Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. There's a lot to talk about this morning. There's some breaking news that ever not good enough. If we did this, come on. We'll talk about the tidbits around there. We'll talk about the main menu now. I say, if Dianina said that pronoun, why Chelsea are truly not title contenders. In fact, there is a conversation that I want to tell you about. Yes, Chelsea we need consistently, but there's a reason why Chelsea may not be title contenders, and we'll talk about that already, of course. And now, one of the breaking news that did come up, and it said, a Chelsea player friend of Mudryk and more games recently, and it said, were tested positive for an anti-doping substance in the sample A. Yes, that is what yesterday a channel, Ukrainian-based channel, and I reported, and I picked it up, and I said, wow. So in the last few days, Abrantia, your friend Mudryk has been absent from Chelsea. About Chelsea, there hasn't been a day I say Mudryk Epra. Almost every time, Mihailo is fit to play football. And seeing Senko focus Abrantia friend Mudryk Epra, it was something that I was a little bit worried about. Say, how can Mihailo be injured as it stands now? Enzo Maresca said Oyare, and that he will not be able to play, and he's not going to be around the team. And now, a Ukrainian outlet, I don't see these things. I don't want to aggregate it. I mean, person because I get so much of a good news, but that's exactly what is going on there. In fact, the week before, say Mihailo Mudryk and more game. One of the things I knew when it's Mihailo Mudryk as the agency. Now, new agents to come in and help him with Nehemiah. So that was what I knew. So what's going on behind the scene, not an issue of any drug test, but that's what this outlet is saying. Say Mihailo Mudryk are tested positive for sample A. Now, usually in the anti-doping test, what they do is that they do the sample test for sample A, and the conclusive test is the sample B. Usually, it's a couple of weeks later. No matter sample B, no matter say, still there was a similar. There's a difference, and you realize that there could have been an abnormality somewhere. Then they look at it, but possibly, Mihailo Mudryk found guilty of doping. Yeah, he is likely going to sit out for some 4 years. A very bad thing for the career of Mihailo Mudryk. And I'm worried because the Mudryk gym workout and stuff like that. Now, one of the things is that most of the substances that people take to work out are corticosteroids. Corticosteroids are artificial hormone-like substances. So essentially, it's supposed to boost your energy, boost your levels to work hard, to be able to do long hours of work. This animal, and maybe and and of course, it didn't help him. He was anti-doping issues nearby. I think that Mihailo Mudryk needs to be a little bit careful. One of my hopes it's not entirely true. And now Lamine Yamal, a big reveal of the graduation from senior high school, and also how things have gone on well for in the graduation from senior high school. OJ, the Golden Boots award, or the Euros, winning the Euros, or being nominated for the Ballon d'Or, or winning the Copa Trophy. And now Lamine Yamal was in there, and when the first official boot for himself, named after him. Or no, as a young player, and when your official boots has been named after him, and of Lamine Yamal boots, here said George Mendes and in a conversation said Lamine Yamal ever signed a contract extension. You win a Ballon d'Or next year. May God hear you, says Lamine. And saying said, or sign a contract extension. I'm a team, your friend FC Barcelona, and it's very important to get that done. Of course, in the last game, we all know say Rafinha, Lamine Yamal, Dani Olmo, all of them seem to have been off. They are brand here friend Dani Olmo, Lamine Yamal, any Abrantia friend Lewandowski were off. They are Abrantia friend Rafinha and Kwam, and an elbow boy. He was one that was really playing well. And of course, it didn't really go on for FC Barcelona. It to be said, Barca needed to change certain things over there in the last game that went in there. On the part of FC Real Madrid, there's a lot of conversation around when Abantia friend of Kylian Mbappe Berry already he was seen in training and Madrid players in that travel to Qatar for the Intercontinental Cup. It's an important one, an official best player award from FIFA no, on announcing at 6 p.m. and then on I think on 6 p.m. 17th of December. 17th of December and I'm announcing the best player award no. That's exactly what's going to go on there for course Madrid players. And Vinicius Junior will want to win that. Of course, after some Vinicius Junior conversation, they are going away to go and play in the Intercontinental Cup. On just make sure so maybe we need then of course Mbappe did travel with the team to the team to go and play in the Intercontinental Cup. Something that we had said Mbappe any fit were prep for a while, but then he traveled to go and play and then travel with the team for the Intercontinental Cup. And we see how that goes. Of course, Jude Bellingham or in Qatar. Luka Modryk also arrived here, Kobe. Madrid team were there in Qatar. Mudryk, Goes, Vasquez, Eduardo Camavinga, Kylian Mbappe, other Goulet, Vinicius Junior, Lamine Yamal. Some players in there or it was confirmed. Said the current trend is that Florian Wirtz ever extending the contract or FC Bayern Leverkusen, but then still Madrid's plan is to sign and then get him anytime I'm signing contract extension. They still want to get him to come in and play with team my friend FC Real Madrid, and they are pushing to get that done. Of course, I brand your friend Florian Wirtz is somebody that's really appreciated by FC Real Madrid, and of course, plenty go reports said Florian Wirtz. Someone moved to Bayern or Real Madrid or Manchester City is currently off the table. Contract extension is possible for our friend Florian Wirtz, but it's a player that still they would want to wait and look at because Real Madrid fans really appreciate our brand your friend Florian Wirtz. But who is going to win the FIFA Best Player of the Year award? One be winning in your opinion the FIFA Best Player of the Year award. One be winning sa award. Who do you think will be winning sa award? I mean, it's something that's going to be really interesting. And then you may on the 17th, we announce it who's going to win that award over the our match of the day studio Sky Sports PR analysis. A lot of interesting stuff came up. In fact, the two pundits that were there were Jimmy Carragher and your friend Thierry Henry. They spoke about a lot of things. Now, the two things that they spoke about: one, Jimmy Carragher said Chelsea ain't me winning Premier League, because they don't have a centre forward. They don't have two proper centre back pair. I'm saying Chelsea centre back pair, any centre back pair allegedly, and yet possible. That's what Jimmy Carragher said. He also went on to say, "Said Abrantia a friend of Robert Sanchez, and so another reason why Chelsea cannot win the league." Now, on the part of Thierry Henry said Chelsea have not been able to beat Liverpool. They've not been able to beat Arsenal. They've not been able to beat Man City. They've not been able to beat the big teams, quote and unquote. He doesn't see how Chelsea are going to win the league. And I think that it goes on to feed into what Enzo Maresca has been saying for months. Enzo Maresca said, "Ni team no any ready." And yes, people think Chelsea are winning consistent. Enzo Maresca said they can be winning consistently. They be almost share games, almost share ball, almost winning matches. And fine, that's okay. Chelsea can be doing that. But he doesn't think that Chelsea are in a title race because the team not end already and the kind of goals that Chelsea concede, the kind of football that they play. And I think that social Chelsea defense now, yes, tossing and there be a shame for Wesley Fofana. But another social metric now, Chelsea are conceding 1.75 non-penalty XGs against since Abrantia Efreno and Wesley Fofana prior. He is very instrumental to what Enzo Maresca wants to do in terms of the aggression, or a very, very important player, because you need that balance. And I said it last season constantly, several times, we had the dog profile and then the cat profile. At Chelsea, the cat profile is Levi. He can be aggressive, but they were more tactful. Whilst on the other side, the dog profile is more aggressive, always, constantly being aggressive, stepping up, facing up danger, wanting to make sure so they clear out issues or them. It is something that the dog profile does. It is different from the cat profile, the Onoya or and that's the disparity. You need it. Now, in the absence of Wesley Fofana, now the data is telling us that Chelsea are conceding more chances. Now, the code that we mentioned here is just chance our opponents are creating against you. And since Wesley Fofana prior, teams are creating more quality chances against Chelsea in his absence that he was there. It tells you, yes, the conversion rate may now come to the quality of the opposing team this animal. But the underlying metric that's important, the chances that have been created against you in times like that, it's very, very important. I understand. Osha players be say Moises Caicedo, Marco Correa, Osha players be say Jadon Sancho, Cole Palmer, Noni Madueke, Nicolas Jackson. They are doing fantastic job, especially in the middle of the park. Enzo Fernandez, Moises Caicedo, they are doing super jobs, and you can't take anything away from them. But really, when you look at certain metrics, now after the game against Brentford, Enzo Maresca can't say me. When he say one of the most highly rated players, in fact, apparently, a Kaketo Ebina Komumano player of the match in a game against Brentford. No, that is Robert Sanchez. Now, Enzo Maresca can't say. So that saves now Robert Sanchez here. He started it against Bournemouth. So Chelsea in Bournemouth was so instrumental, saved the penalty and stuff like that. And then of course in this game, again, one of the things that people have not spoken about is the fact that when you look at Robert Sanchez, Omar Chelsea a lot of protection from set pieces because of a natural cross claimer. Constantly he'll come and claim the ball. And I think it was very important against teams like Liverpool and any Arsenal. When almost deadly free kicks now, you need a very confident, very aggressive, very bold goalkeeper to jump out of the ruts and he wants to come and claim balls or punch it away. And what? Because no matter how tall you be, you can never be taller than somebody who has jumped and outstretched their hands as well. Robert Sanchez is in that class where people feel it's okay, fine. There's an important player for things like this. Now, a lot of people say because of Robert Sanchez, Chelsea can't get a job done. And it is true because, you see, whilst Enzo Maresca did praise him, say, or a good cross claimer, or a good shot stop in this animal, in Europe, it is still the metric that is going around. Say, Robert Sanchez, the player, the only goalkeeper, we're making the most errors leading to goal. I mean, at the beginning of the season was around like 3. And sometimes he is too jittery in post. And he tends to just over-elaborate. As a ball in the shot, he wants to play from the back. Then always picks the wrong option. What's the nine or a big problem? And so Uti Jebika Aganas or Kasa, you will not really be disturbed because it is clear. So Robert Sanchez, but this is the same person who's also good on the shot stopper. Inti Akres Adene or Domfu Kung Fu kind of thing. The same goalkeeper can save you balls. Sometimes also he cannot make you in terms of the decisions that we're trying them. And it tends to affect the team. So Jimmy Carragher said, yes, the absence of Wesley Fofana, Chelsea defense, according to him, so only to Snadra Beshim. So all the branch friend, even Benoit Belashili Beshema, they don't give you the same output as you get when Wesley Fofana is there. And even by extension, as someone Jimmy Carragher kind of said, Chelsea team ain't good enough. I mean, in terms of the quality of play, how good they can be at the back, to even go in and win any title. It's any possible. And I think that's what Enzo Maresca has been saying. Say, do you know what? Regardless of the facts of your score depth, regardless of the facts of your team, regardless of the fact that we are winning games, and he keeps on saying, no matter how many games we win, I think we are not ready to compete for the title. And that's exactly what Enzo Maresca can. Watch the Chelsea team now consistently. How many teams they are, but they constantly suffocate teams. They'll press you aggressively, win the ball from you, they'll counter press you. These are all good things. But it looks as if for almost everybody, Chelsea cannot win the league. They have specific, detailed metrics, like the underlying numbers. And I think that assertion, my kind of one said, you can only make a proper assertion of if Chelsea beats Madrid league and as at the earliest in March. At the very earliest in March. So, through March, so international break now, you're back on. That's what Team John say, oh wow, Chelsea beats Madrid league. Chelsea at the top of the league. Chelsea at 1 point of Liverpool. Now players team prepared. Now still squad depth it can be done. I think all the things that will happen easily inside Chelsea will get top 4 easily, comfortably. At any cry, Chelsea will get a 3rd position comfortably. But as to win, Chelsea will win the league is something that's still a mystery. I mean, their teams have done it their first season before. Again, one of the things that other people, and I think I was listening to Michael Owen, and Michael Owen not all kind of said, all of the teams that have won the Premier League before have to go through the cycle. And the cycle is that they come close, then they win. And it's same for Arsenal. Arsenal about close 1 or 2 times, whether they win or not is a different conversation. Man City came close a couple of times before they won. But in all of that, somebody will say that FIBA say Antonio Conte buy and the teenager. But also you should understand that the team that was there had won it before. The team that was there had a spine of team that had won before. So they had the experience of winning. So it's not just about team leading, but the experience of winning it and knowing how to go about it is very important. So they probably would have helped Antonio Conte in a way. So a lot of people are saying that Chelsea team to win experience, there are going to be times where they'll flatter. And I think that Seuti Enzo Maresca after the game against Brentford, he makes mention of Marco Correa attitude after the game. I'll call referee on the yellow card. Now, referee could yellow or call referee the yellow card. After the game, in the post-match press conference, Enzo Maresca said, I mean, these are some of the reasons said Chelsea are not in the title race because Sani Maui, so your experience in going to win the title, only so you're very important for the team. You don't go putting yourself in such a situation so much so that you get shown a yellow card, not on next game, no Umobi. Yes. It doesn't mean say Renato Vega against me next game. It doesn't mean say Chelsea cannot spring up a different way of playing the next game against my friend Everton. And of course, I think that may even be a necessary evil to an extent because Everton for are very good from set plays and you need height to an extent. Indeed, if you have you can add Renato Vega, who also has a lot of height in the set plays. They're very important in there. And these are some of the things that are going on. But then really, the little things that point to the fact that Chelsea cannot win the English Premier League or are not ready to win the English Premier League, are there. Now, I saw something somewhere, and I think some of the things in there made a lot of things. But we say Chelsea can only be in the title race when we almost blew a 2-0 lead at home. And it's in that last game against Brentford. Mistake at my throwing on Kokoya, Kaisodo country, I won about a chair Brentford for never back. Again, like Kalagashi, Kovosio, Chelsea defense, they're shambolic. Almost keep clean sheet. Every match, you almost concede goal. I don't particularly think, say, you need to keep clean sheet consistently to be able to win the league derby. You just need to win. You just need your constant 3 points. So for me, I would already say, in Crawford do not focus too much on clean sheet. They just focus on the kind of football that the team is playing. Focus on the ball. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. When the time comes in, Chelsea keep clean sheet at the road. I mean, it takes a lot of factors to be able to keep clean sheet over there. Again, goalkeeper making 3 errors leading to go. One of the first players who we are seeing. I mean, this season, I will making the most errors leading to go. It is not good enough. This season makes the wrong decisions almost every time. Yes, like I said, Robert Sanchez has a lot of qualities that helps the team, but he also did a little bit of the decision making that affected team, which is not good enough. Chelsea manager almost all the experience in one. I know that for me, I think that it doesn't even make sense. So Omega said Enzo Maresca any on him. At some point in time, the argument was that Chelsea was just over dependent on Cole Palmer, and I think that we've got it to the point this season where you really can't argue say Chelsea are dependent on Cole Palmer. I think that Chelsea are far more independent team. Almost everybody pops up. I mean, the data is there to show. Nicolas Jackson, Pedro Neto, Nani Madueke, Jadon Sancho, Cole Palmer himself, Enzo Fernandez. I mean, all of these players, Caicedo, are standing up and then getting results over there. I think one of the things I'm a little bit worried is that, yes, Chelsea attackers need to go, but then usually in title winning campaigns, defenders also come up with goals. Chelsea defenders have not really scored a lot like that. Chelsea are conceding 19 goals already and have played only 16 games this season. And of course, obviously Chelsea midfield Enzo the best, but of course, 5 wins in a row for Enzo Maresca, and he is doing an amazing job in that regard with respect to everything that he's doing. That game against Brentford was obviously a tactical mastery from Abrantia, your friend Enzo Maresca, and the job that he's doing at Chelsea Football Club. He's a big one. Like I said, Thierry Henry did say Chelsea would have to beat the big boys. They would have to beat the big teams. Now, show me if you can beat Man City, Liverpool, and Arsenal, then I can see you're in the title race in there. In terms of how quality, how good a player can be, how good Chelsea beats me Angeli, and also according to a lot of people, Chelsea really have to make sure so much the big boys, especially from Thierry Henry, just before he can agree that Chelsea beats me Angeli in this area. He doesn't believe that Chelsea beats me Angeli, and then he thinks that Chelsea are a little bit far off in terms of winning of the league and then how things can turn out for them. But I think that one of the key factors to winning the league in all of these things is sometimes there are generational people that come into teams. Yes, I look at Chelsea experience. Yes, Robert Sanchez makes mistakes. I think that just maybe the intellect and how good Enzo Maresca is can push Chelsea to certain limits that naturally they couldn't have been able to get there. And the next game is against Everton. I think that the Everton game is going to be easier as compared to the other games, not because Everton are Ghana, but because Everton are not as aggressive as other teams that sit in a low block are. They would want to, do a lot of zonal work. And if you do more zonal, I think that Chelsea, there are a lot of rotations will hurt them. Not going to be an easy game, but I think that fairly compared to other matches, it's a game that Chelsea can really go in there and then get results over there. Like I did see, of course, this morning, maybe I make said, I'm number report here, about your friend, Mudryk issue, according to sources, Mudryk has tested positive in a doping test in an A sample. A banned substance was found in the end of October. The B sample is expected to be opened in the next days. It's according to a Ukrainian outlet, Tribuna.com. To almost say exclusive from them. Also, Zoya Lodinesko talking about Ukrainians or more London. That's also one thing that was told about in terms of Abrantia friend Mihailo Mudryk issues in terms of whether we're tested positive for an anti-doping substance or not. Not a good thing at all. Not a good thing at all for Abrantia friend Mihailo Mudryk. It's something that you see it's an issue over there. Of course, Jamie Carragher in 9 interviews spoke about Chelsea's second team in the Conference League and the rest of the main team. So it's almost like they don't have European football. They're focusing on just playing in the English team. And Jamie Carragher, I don't see title winning team at Chelsea because of the goalkeeper and then the centre backs. We'll wait to see if Chelsea can get that job done. Of course, Enzo Maresca seemed to be very, very happy playing some good football. Marco Correa, of course, after the game against Brentford, went on to Instagram and posted a picture of our brand friend Noni Mudryk and said, Manda Malo Gusto has been also spot on in the last few weeks about the kind of football that he's playing at Chelsea Football Club. And now, our brand friend Ademola Lookman won the African Best Player of the Year award. I think he deserves it. Solid year from Ademola Lookman. The story, I've said it several times, from grass to grace. There was a time where he said he was disgraced in front of the world, but Ademola rose up and then became African Best Player of the Year. Hi, Fiifi-Manfred on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining us. We'll be back. God willing tomorrow. This afternoon and then in the evening for more. Bye bye.